Morning, everybody. We are in an undisclosed location, but there's a little creek behind me. I just like to say that this video title can be misleading. This is an admission of just kidding. So we may or may not have snuck onto my neighbor's pond, and definitely didn't do that because that would be trespassing, and trespassing is illegal. But I've heard that there's little brook trout in the stream behind me. Let's see if we can catch some. Nobody's up in here. Cloudy morning out in the swamp. But do a quick gear rundown. Got the bag with us. I think I'm gonna keep this pretty simple. We got a stuck zipper. We got trout stuff. I may or may not have been here before. It's been a while though, and got some night crawlers. Got some worms. Got some rooster tails. Happy 4th of July. Ain't got anybody up in here yet, so I'm not too worried about it. My bobber's like, had some kids over yesterday. That makes me sound like the creepy uncle. Had some family over yesterday, and everybody kind of wants to come out to the coast. It's getting hot all across the rest of the state. So I had some family come out, and I live on a little pond. And I live next to the beach, so it's a good time. But we had like, I don't know, 12 people over at the house. Threw a big barbecue. But, I also brought like some rooster tails, little spinners. But they're actually pretty big spinners, so we're just gonna bait up this worm. Hopefully we can catch one of these brook trouts. Gotta kind of keep it down for, I don't want to disturb wildlife, but it's less about wildlife and don't want to disturb the neighbors. All right, first cast. This is a pretty big stream. Hey, if you're just getting here, we're definitely not trespassing and looking for some brook trout. I don't know if you guys heard that, but how could you not? This is a wetland, and there's all kinds of creatures. Beavers, deer, elk, coyotes. Let's see if we can find something, as long as it's not a bear. I was out here, I don't know, a couple months ago. There's a video if you guys want to scroll through the channel. It's called Creek Fishing for Dinks, I think is the name of it. And I couldn't keep him off it. Uh, this stream actually flows, it's like the overflow into my lake, out of my lake, and then goes up around the corner, runs through this, I think it's called the slough, like Epsom Slough, I think is the name of it. And I was getting bites every 20, 30 seconds. But as per usual, you put on a YouTube camera and can't catch a fish, right? A little hungry this morning. Apparently nobody's up anyways. Do you guys mind if I eat this cheese? Got any cheese? Yeah, that's how you know I'm old if I'm making Family Matters references. Pretty slow. Been fishing for about, I don't know, the longest minute 45 seconds of my life. And can't believe I don't have a bite yet. I don't see too many signs of life on the pond. Pond. I'm so used to fishing ponds. This is definitely not that. It's more like an overflow, I guess. I'm seeing some signs of life that way. I might cast over there, see if I can find something. Some lily pads right there. Oh yeah, kids, don't smoke. It's bad for you. But if you're a grown up, it's cool. It makes you look like a fucking dragon. Hey, if you're just getting here, happy 4th of July, man. We didn't sneak onto my neighbor's pond here, and we're looking for trout. We got a bobber out on the water. Nothing exciting. I'm not expecting big trout, probably just brook trout, which typically don't get much more than 6 or 7 inches. I got to try to keep it down so my neighbors don't hear. But located out here in the Pacific Northwest, trying to do some fishing. I've been to this spot before, and last time I couldn't keep them off, but beautiful day, birds are chirping. Thanks for taking the time to rock with me, man. I also got a little rooster tail I might be throwing around. Bobber fishing's kind of boring, but most things will bite a worm, so. I know you guys can't see where I casted. I'll give you a tilt. This is kind of the surroundings. Out here in a slough, a wetland, whatever you want to call it. But the pond, or sorry, I used to fish in ponds. This creek is actually just a overflow from my lake or pond, whatever you want to call it. 4 acres. So is 4 acres a lake or a pond? I don't know. And I'm imagining there to be. Sorry, I am not a camera guy. I'm imagining there to be quite a bit of stuff in here. I know my lake's got trout and catfish, and I'd really like to pick up a catfish because they're delicious, but right now I'm just kind of going for whatever bites. I'm not too optimistic because I don't see anything moving around on the water. I know bobber fishing is a little boring. But I'm gonna go cast around, see if I can find something. I don't know how deep it is here. I can't imagine it being. I don't know. I haven't a clue. But I think I'm gonna shorten up my gear. I don't think I want to go off the bottom. If I had to guesstimate, I'd probably say 4 to 6 feet. Do you guys wrap your line around the bottom? Or do you just wrap it once? Sometimes I just wrap it once because I like to move the bottom a little easier. I should have brought my other pole, but it's hard. I had to get here by e-bike, which was a ton of fun, but hard to carry a bunch of gear if you're on the e-bike. I need a backpack that I can carry a pole in. I mean, if you're thinking like, bro, it's July, why do you have a coat on? It's 51 degrees. That's why I have a coat on. Everybody's like, oh, move to the coast, you'll love it, right? No, it's cold. Everybody wants to live by the ocean, but in Washington State, that's cold. I'm not as far north as other places, but Nobody wants a worm this morning. Might switch it up, go to a rooster tail. They're kind of my go-to for anything small. Even a bass. There might be some bass in here. But I was out this way. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, I definitely didn't sneak onto my neighbor's property to fish this stream. This is... Alright. Peace, bro. There's a larger section of the creek where it runs into a bigger creek and then into a bigger pond and then into the ocean. It's that way. I don't see a clear trail on how to get there. And last time I was out here, this was the spot. Check what goodies I got in the bag. Oh, we got some mellows. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting in here, I definitely didn't sneak onto my neighbor's property to fish this creek. And right now we got a bobber out, but bobber fishing's a little boring. I'm hoping to maybe tie on a rooster tail, throw out some power bait, something different. These might be the goat, man. I haven't used a Mike's Mellow in like, I can't remember. Can't remember the last time I fished with the Mellow. But I think that's the move. Let's we might take the bobber off and go out the bottom. I hate going off the bottom sometimes because these fish are super little and sometimes they can just sit there and peck it and I won't even notice. So I think I am going to leave the I think I'm going to leave the bobber on. I'm just going to move it up so it goes a little deeper. This is what we got. Thanks, Mike, for the glitter mallows. Is a mallow different than a marshmallow? Don't know. But they're sparkly. Hopefully the trout are in the mood for something. Fuck a trout. Let's get a channel. Let's get a bullhead. Let's get a catfish. Got brown bullhead catfish around here. They don't get real big. Maybe a pound and a half. But they're delicious. They are by far. Well, I'm a little biased. Like I think all fish are delicious, except for bass. Bass taste terrible. Maybe you grew up eating them and you're like, yeah, bass is my go-to eating fish. Well, sir, I commend you. They're definitely not mine. Got a mellow. We're gonna leave him up a little, and then maybe we'll drop him down in a minute. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to take my bobber off because we're just mellow floats. You can give this like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll move to a spot. What I think is a good sign is there's not a whole lot of bugs. I mean, I am in the swamp, and there's not a lot of bugs, which makes me lead to believe that there might be a couple fish around. More fish, less bugs. It's typically how it works. Thing is, with this long of a leader, I'm not trying to overcast. I just kind of want to get it out there and not fall in the creek. Should I make an ASMR video? Sounds of the creek, slough, swamp, whatever you want to call it. Giving some love, something's taking a bite, at least pecking at it. I don't know this for certain, but I think I'm probably 2 inches off the bottom. It's a busy 4th of July weekend. A lot of people in town. Normally, there's nobody out here, but a lot of people. Hey, if you're just getting here, we definitely didn't sneak onto my neighbor's property to see if there's. Hey, Pickles, man, good to see you. We're not trespassing on my neighbor's property, looking for brook trout. But yeah, man, happy 4th to you. Hopefully you're having a good one, spending some time with friends or family, and hopefully at the end of the day you still got all your fingers, right? It's slow. We fish in a mellow, and out here in a swamp. I've been out here before, and caught quite a bit of brook trout, but it's not easy to get back here. Had to take the e-bike, and everything's real overgrown. It's like, give me a second, I'll show you the trail, man. Kind of get you a vibe check. So that's my trail in. This is where we're at, man. Just kind of out here in the middle. This creek actually runs out from my pond, and then it feeds. And there's a bigger creek on the other side of that log, runs out that way into one more pond and then the ocean. And last time I was here, I was there's a video if you want to check it out. It's called Creek Fishing for Dinks. But I ended up picking up, sorry, let me put you back up there, a ton of these brook trout. And what I like about brook trout is they're wild. They're not planted, which is hard to find nowadays. Nowadays, it seems like everything's a planted trout and they're real mushy. I was rocking a night crawler. Yeah, man, it's pretty chill out here. You know, I gotta be careful. Like I said, I'm not trespassing on my neighbor's property. And he's a pretty cool guy. But I've only talked to him a handful of times. And saw a little something turn out just off camera there. That's the first signs of life I've had. I'm trying to keep it down, be a little respectful, you know. On the plus side, he's pretty old and can't see that well, so ticks. It's cold, so like we don't like. I don't think I've had a. I think I've had one day above 70 all year, so we don't really get the heat to where we get ticks real bad. Occasionally, but I mean it's not really an issue. We don't get real hot here, so we don't get the ticks. Usually like it a little warmer, is what I'm trying to say. Occasionally, my dog will pick one up, but if you're just getting here, we are all right. They're gone. Pretty long bobber. I wish I would have brought my other rod, but I had to get here by e-bike, and it's a little hard to carry the rod on the e-bike. I didn't have to. I could have walked, but like, why walk if you got an e-bike, right? We're gonna try a couple more casts in this spot. Might switch it out. Yeah, man, the rest of my state is all under like a heat advisory. I live in Washington State out in the Pacific Northwest. And if you go, you know, 30 miles inland or maybe 40, 50 miles, I'm pretty remote out here, then it's all 80s, 90s. Even if you just go south a little bit, it's all 90, 95. But where I live, we got like a big marine layer of clouds all the time. And it's real foggy, so I mean that kind of keeps the heat down. Usually burns off around noon, 1 o'clock, then we'll get into like the mid 60s. And I just realized I probably didn't bring enough terminal tackle. I forget how often you get snagged up when you're trying to fish these little creeks. Yeah. Speak of the devil, just like that, we're in the tree. Go ahead and pull as hard as I can right into my face, right? Still got bait? No, sir. Shit, we don't even have a hook. Oh, yeah, we do. All right. Barbecue pickles, man. Where you from? I mean, like, you ain't got to drop your, like, address or anything. Just, what state? Can't imagine it being that deep. Our bobber's probably, oh, I don't know, 3.5 feet from the weight to the hook. And I might move spots. I'm not getting any love here. There's a bigger section of the creek. I just haven't walked over there because it's swampy, man, and I'm trying to keep my feet dry for at least the first 20 minutes. I know you can't see it, but there's some lily pads and a little deeper hole just off camera. Hearing all these bullfrogs, I want to get my pitchfork and flashlight. Hey, if you're just getting here, happy 4th. We hopped a couple fences and now we're here. Allegedly. Anything I say in this live is a fictional scenario. Let's grab our bag here, go for a walk. It connects into a bigger creek. Oh, about 50 yards that way, but it looks like it's going to be pretty hard 50 yards. So I think we're just going to hoof it. Let me grab the camera here. I have a better camera than my crappy phone, but you have to give them, like, if you got a GoPro, you got to give them permission to your Google, or yeah, your Google account to be able to stream. And I'm just not about that. All right, so I'll check this. I don't have anywhere to put you guys. This is where we're at. Let me flip you around so you can see. That's the creek that runs from my lake out here. There's like, it looks like a down log, and then there's a bigger creek on the other side. This pond looks, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a pond, but I mean, it runs into a bigger creek. I know that guy who lives on the other side is a pretty good shot, so we're not trying to go over there. But I don't think he owns this. I don't really have a place to set you guys up, but let me see if I can walk this way a little bit. I'd love to get out on that log. Love to throw out over there. I just don't have a good place to put my tripod. Ground's a little swampy. I mean, we're in some pretty thick bull grass. Beautiful day out on the pond. Don't really have any place to put my camera. Heard some rustling. We got a lot of wildlife out here. As long as we don't run into a black bear, I won't be too worried about it. There might be a little stick I can hook you guys to. Let me... Bear with me. And just like that, my feet are soaked. Sorry for the extreme close-up. There's no planning ahead here. This is all just impromptu. Hoping this little stick is holding strong enough to hold the camera mount. Alright. So we're out here. I'll flip you guys around so you can actually see where we're fishing. And hopefully a big old bobber bites it. If you're just getting here, man, happy 4th. We hopped a couple fences. And we're trying to fish this little creek. It's actually pretty big. It's a lot bigger back here than I thought. For brook trout, I love a bullhead catfish, and I know I got a few. So we're out here. We got a worm, bobber. If that fails, we got some rooster tails. And let me flip you around so you can see where we're at. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, happy 4th of July. Hope you finish your day with the same amount of fingers that you started. We're out here in this, I think it's referred to as a slough. This actually drains out into, I said it was the ocean, but it's the bay. Runs out into the bay, and the bay runs out into the ocean. I'm sure you guys know how bays work. But we just got a worm. Got a bobber. I'm thinking we're going to be pretty close to going off the bottom, but let's see what we can do. I know for sure we're on the bottom. But if you're just getting here, we'll hop some fences. First off, happy Friday, happy 4th of fucking July. But we're looking for some brook trout in this slough. It runs, oh, I don't know. It's a lot bigger than I thought. Only been here a couple times. What do you think, Pickles? Where are they at, man? Look at that. We got nature's rod holder. Colorado. Never been down that way. Been to Utah a couple times, but never made it into Colorado. You know, I could throw out over that log into that deeper part of the creek, but the chances of getting my gear back are very limited. Water temperature is about 60, 64 or so. Maybe a little warmer if the sun pops up. But pretty cold temps. I wish I could get out on that log over there. I just, my footing isn't what it, yet. See, just out past that log. All right, let's lose some gear. I think I'm gonna try to throw just over those reeds into the deeper part of the pond. I don't know if I'll be able to see my bobber, but we'll see. I didn't bring a whole lot of gear with me, you know, terminal tackle wise, but I guess worst case scenario, I run like a rooster tail. Yeah, so I threw out just past the tip of that log into that deeper pond because I saw something moving over there, but I can't see my bobber at all. So it's just gonna be, hey, if you're just getting here, good morning, happy Thursday, happy 4th of July. I don't like it. Yeah, just like, okay, all we gotta do is get our gear back out of those bushes. I see our bobber, it's a good sign. All right, we didn't even poke our eyes out. We don't have any bait on there, which might make it a little hard to catch a fish, but I think we probably lost them in the woods. Hey, good morning. Got 5 people up in here. Wow, shout out to you. Happy 4th. We hopped some fences, and this is all allegedly. We allegedly hopped some fences to check out this creek that runs out into the bay. It's an overflow from my lake, or pond, whatever you want to call it. We've been bobber fishing with some worms. We're looking for brook trout. Last time I was out here, it was just loaded, but I think I'm gonna tie on a rooster tail because I don't have the patience to use a bobber. I should have brought my other rod so I could be fishing too. But with that being said, it's a pretty long walk. Took the e-bike to get here. We're gonna hook on a rooster tail and throw that around at least until I lose it into the bushes. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking us out. If you're a veteran like Pickles, thanks for rocking with me, bro. We're live every day, 6 a.m., 6:15-ish. Sometimes I'm dragging a little. Check the box. It's my trout tackle box. I broke it out yesterday. First time playing with it in a few years. We got choices to make. We got a clown rooster tail, or I don't know what color, midnight purple. They always come up with these crazy names, but I think we're gonna go with that. Throw it around a little bit until we hit the bushes, and donate our $2 to this swamp that we found. And of course, I didn't bring any pliers, wire cutters. My wife's been bitching at me that she doesn't bitch, she's a lovely lady. She's been telling me I gotta stop cutting line with my teeth. I'm gonna check the spin on this rooster tail. Alright, that's what we got tied on. I'd love to get that split shot off of there, but I don't have any pliers with me. Beautiful day out in the swamp. If you're new here, thanks for taking the time to check me out. We do live fishing. Trying to switch it up. I live in the Pacific Northwest and there's ponds everywhere. Ponds, creeks, rivers, and oceans. And this is where we are today. A couple no trespass signs and a couple fences, and here we are. Fishing in the weeds. Thank you, Michael. Same to you, man. I hope you still have your fingers at the end of this Independence Day. It's a firework reference. I don't know if you guys actually use fireworks or if they're even legal where you are. But if they are, I hope you guys are having a fun and somewhat safe, responsible 4th of July, Independence Day, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. That water is super murky. Shout out to the 3 people we got up in here. We're looking for trout. That's what we're doing. Got a little rooster tail on there, but he's not. Yeah, he's flashing. We'll see. Couple good casts. We'll see what we can do. Wish I would have brought some soft plastics, like a gulp worm or something. Zoom worm. But if you're just getting here, we're live fishing every day. And trying to switch it up. You know, sometimes I don't get out and then just fish my backyard pond, which is always a good time. But trying to switch it up, do something different. New pond, new type of fish. Every day, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard, 6:15, maybe 6:30. Depends on when I can get my butt out of bed. Pretty stoked. I do a bunch of camping. That's like what this channel's about. Camping, fishing. Those are my two go-tos. And I just received an order from Amazon. I got a new tent, I got a new cot, and I got a new backpack. And I'm doing ultralight setup to where there's a couple campgrounds that are real isolated, and you got to hike to get to them. And my current setup would never allow that. I have, 8 giant totes of crap that I use. So I got my new ultralight setup. I got to get that up, and then hopefully I can go check out this campground. They have a high mountain lake, and it's supposed to be absolutely loaded with fish. We're going to take this rooster tail off. We are not doing anything. But if you've watched any of my other camping videos, they're a pretty good time. I just got back from this place called Merwin, and they have like kokanee, which is like a mini landlocked salmon. And I absolutely crushed it there. Ended up with about 30 fish on a 4-day camping catch. But the problem with these campgrounds, it's $45 a night. $45 a night to pretend to be homeless. And, I love it, and the fishing was great, but it adds up, You're looking at $100 for gas for the truck, and I know I sound cheap. I don't mind paying gas money, and I don't mind spending money to camp a little bit. But it's got to be a reason. I mean, I used to pay $45 for a Motel 6. I used to pay $35 for a motel. And at least they had like questionable stains and access to hookers. But with that being said, I found this pickles, man. It's ridiculous. And okay, so it's nice to have a shower and a bathroom. I mean, I'm getting up there. But I found this free campground not too far where I live, up in the mountains, and they have a porta potty. They're primitive campsites, but you got to hike into them. I mean, so I changed up my gear a little bit, and I'm hopefully going to do that when all the tourists go home. Honestly, after I know the 4th of July weekend, it's going to be absolutely packed. We switched back up to a bobber and a worm. We got about 2 feet from the bobber to the worm. Yeah, man, Pickles, if you watch my, I think it's called Mini Landlocked Salmon. It's like 12 minutes. You can check it out if you want, but went out with my father-in-law. We work together. He's a nice guy. I know not everybody gets along with their father-in-law, but I do. He's a pretty cool guy. He retired. He's just an old, refers to himself as a baggy pants cement finisher. And he's the one that put me on to fishing. You know, I didn't start until I moved out here about 5 years ago. And that's what he did. And he just kind of put me on. You know, I do a lot of salt. But I'm trying to do this fresh because it's a lot of effort to go gear up and hit the ocean. But hang around the channel, you'll see some of that. We'll be live off the boat, salmon fishing, probably in a couple weeks. We got big Chinook and coho running out in the ocean right now. But back to what I was talking about, this free campground. I drove out and I checked it out, and it's just loaded with people at the moment. And it's all people out there with their families. I guess I could hike out further and stay like not in the campground, just out in the woods somewhere. But I haven't. I'm still waiting on a couple pieces of gear, and that video will be coming up. Probably next week sometime once the tourists die down a little bit. It's weird living in a tourist town because, okay, I live in a tourist town. So for 9 months out of the year, I don't see anybody. Like, mainly because of the weather. It's just drizzly and rainy. Nobody comes out. But for about 2 months out of the year, it's just people everywhere. You know, I love the beach, man. I really do. I'm out there all the time. I do a lot of surf perch fishing, a lot of crabbing. I love the beach, but I'm not a Cali beach. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Southwest Washington beach where it drizzles, it rains. I mean, it rains quite a bit. See some bubbles on the pond. I'm not seeing much turnover. I hate getting skunked. We're not there yet. I'm not ready to throw in the towel. Just kind of got here an hour ago, but an hour in the world of fishing isn't much. Pickles, you got your pitchfork ready? I keep hearing these bullfrogs, buddy. Hey, if you're just getting here, happy Independence Day. Couple fences and some no trespass signs, and here we are. Fished this spot a couple times. Can usually land. Couldn't keep the brook trout off last time I was here, but we're struggling to connect today. I haven't done that since I was a kid, Pickles. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for stopping by. Happy 4th. Looking for whatever bites. I'd imagine there'd be some bullhead catfish in here, brown ones. And they don't get real big, but they're pretty good to eat. If you want to talk about something, jump in the chat. Appreciate it if you hit that like button. Hey, we got 4 people in here. Happy Independence Day. I will be holding a live giveaway. You have a chance to win a fishing rod. All you have to do to enter is send me a video of you shooting a bottle rocket at your other half or your sibling. Either way. Free fishing pole for videos of somebody shooting bottle rockets at their siblings. We're getting played with. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's just barely pecking at it. I don't think you guys can see him. He's just off camera. Swing and a miss. The brook trout we're after don't get real big. Maybe a big one is, 6 inches. But they're fun to catch. And if you get into a school of them, you get... Oh, he tried to rob me, man. But that's encouraging. There's little signs of life, at least. Thanks for taking the time to rock with me. Hope you guys are having a great day. I don't know if you guys can see the grass there. Hey, shout out to the 3 people up in here. Thanks for taking the time to rock me. We are, the bobber's just through the grass on the left there. I'm just kind of slowly dragging it through this hole. Looks like there's a small current kind of carrying me out to the right. And it smells like a swamp out here. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Wind's kicking up a little bit. I was hoping this cloud layer would burn off, but not yet. We might do some hiking here in a second, relocate to a different part of the creek. There's a game trail behind me, and it looks like it gets out to the bigger part of the creek. I'm seeing some bubbles, but not a lot. Sorry, you guys are kind of precariously perched on a stick that's grown in the middle of the pond. We're just kind of slowly dragging the bobber through that hole. If you're just getting here, shout out to you. Happy Independence Day. Hoping to find some trout or catfish, one of the two. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like a tree settling or I was just trying to be optimistic, Pickles. But to be honest, I don't see too many signs of life at all. I just spilled my worms all over my fishing bag. So that's cool. Let's move spots. There's a game trail behind me here. Looks like it goes a little further into the swamp. So you're gonna have to deal with the shaky ass camera for the next second or two. But we're gonna see if we can switch it up. I'd like to fish the larger part of that creek if I can. So give me just a second so I don't take a hook to the face. That's not on my 2025 bingo card. Bro, it never ceases to amaze me. If your hook can catch on something, it will. We'll just take that part of the tree with us. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. There's we're in a swamp, and it goes from tall grass to deep water. I ain't trying to do that. We're kind of stymied. That's the dilemma. We have some duckweed. I'm trying to get over there, or at least over to that log. But we got tall grass everywhere, followed in by random pools of water. This whole area snakes that way. That way's towards the bay. That's where we want to get. Let's backtrack. We're gonna have to switch it up a little here. That's how we got here. Little e-bike. We'll go head upstream. If we keep walking this way through the forest, then this eventually leads back to the road I came in on, and the creek a little further up. Up this way is the storm drain, where if it rains, the overflow from a pond comes down and feeds this. I'll flip you around so you guys can see. You know, we're not very wide. Back up that way is just where we were. But I'm thinking this is a good spot. I just don't have a great... We're going to walk a little further, see if I can find a place to put the camera. Hey, Pickles. Sorry about that. Sometimes when you're out trekking through the swamp, it gets muted because you're not paying attention to the camera. But so long story short is I think I'm going to walk back, get the bike, and try to either fish the storm drain on the side of the road. I tried to get through the other way, but it's pretty well blocked. There's a spot right here that doesn't look too terrible, but I think I'm going to grab the bike because then it gives me somewhere to put the camera and fish this spot right here. It's a little different part of the creek. My lake drains into it, not that far that way. But if we head that way, we're going to have to be a little quieter because we're up by where people stay at. Yeah, just gonna grab the bike real quick, change spots. You know, I love this stupid thing. You know, everybody makes fun of e-bikes, like, oh, bro, why don't you get a real dirt bike? I got a real dirt bike, and it's loud. 2-stroke, you hear that thing 5 miles away. This allows me to get to where I need to go, and maybe I'm not necessarily supposed to be there. I can do it in a discreet manner. But they do get a lot of hate sometimes, you know, it's a mixed bag. The HOA I live in actually made a special sign just for me. I live in the middle of nowhere, and the HOA, there's these beach access trails, so I can get from my house down to the ocean without having to walk through somebody's yard. And I bought my first e-bike, I don't know, a couple years ago, before they were real popular. And sorry, bear with me, trying to get you guys mounted. And there's these trails that run to the beach, like I was saying, and it was never a problem. I'd always ride my bike down there, and then e-bikes started getting a little popular, and people started riding down there, and some kid bought a Sur-Ron. And Sur-Rons are cool, don't get me wrong, I'm not hating, but the HOA decided that e-bikes weren't allowed on these fucking trails. I'm like, what a crock of shit. Like, I can ride a regular bike on it all day, but I can't take my e-bike down there. Pretty silly if you ask me. But so next thing I know, there's these, sorry, I got a little breakfast on my face. There's all these signs, no e-bikes, no scooters. So I just ignore them, you know, like, all right, fuck are you gonna do to me? My name is Pickles Barbecue. I live in just outside of Denver, so hit me up. Send all my fines and fees there, you know. But I'll occasionally, you know, 90% of the time it's just love. Like, everybody just shows me love on the e-bike. You know, they're older people and they're like, wow, that's pretty freaking cool, man. Blah, blah, blah. But occasionally, you do run into one person who's just like, don't ride that on that trail, and they yell at you. And, you know, the best thing to do with that is you just be polite to them. That's what I do. I just I'm just overly kind to them, and that just, you know, if you ask a lady like, yo, like, why are you're yelling at me for riding a bike down this trail, and then you just kind of reason with them, and it usually goes pretty well. It's gonna get a little bumpy, moving spots. Hopefully my camera doesn't fall off. Sorry, I know it's real shaky, but just bear with me for a few seconds. Be hiking through some woods, some tall grass. Yeah, man, that's what it is. You know, like I get it. Like these trails are like, they're not public, but they're somewhat public. And if I see somebody on the trail, man, I just get off my bike and I walk. I just hop off, move to the side, and give them room to pass. And I'm not ripping the trails okay, sometimes I'll rip the trails a little faster than I'm supposed to. But I always make sure they're clear first. You know what I mean? I don't. And if it's during the daytime, like I'll do like 5 miles, 10 miles an hour, just to be respectful. And if I see somebody else on the trail, I'll get off and I'll walk my bike. I'll walk my bike past them. And that's how it should be. It's just kind of human courtesy. But a lot of people don't. Some of these e-bikers think that they own the road or own the trail, and they behave like a car when they want to, and then they behave like a bicycle when they want to, and it's not cool, you know. And it just takes a couple bad people to ruin it for everybody. But we moved a little further. We're in a pretty good spot. I don't know if I want to flip you guys around or if I just want to angle you a little bit different. You guys want to go up a little bit? There you go. Now you're taller than me, which isn't saying much. I'm like 4'9" on a good day. But let's see what we can do. And of course, I have the camera angled to where you guys won't be able to see me. You ever been out in nature and you just have a chill moment where you're like, fuck, I'm happy to be here. Like it's absolutely beautiful out here, and not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about shit I got to do later. I'm just out here having a good time. We're fishing a little shallow. I think I'm gonna drop her down, go a little deeper. I don't know how deep it is here, but I'd imagine it. I bet I can walk across it. But like I just said, I'm only 4'9", so it's it's not saying too much. Did you hear that? That's the sound of a bobber hitting a tree. Got it, coach. Uh, Interesting fish. Luckily for me, those branches were dead as hell and they snapped off pretty easily. Now all I have to do is untangle the 15 times it wrapped around. Kind of thinking about where I want to go out for tomorrow's video. Hey, if you're just getting here, happy 4th. Couple hop fences and a couple no trespassing signs, and here we are. Yeah, it's almost impossible. I mean, you barely throw out pickles and you're in the bushes somewhere. Thinking about where I want to go for tomorrow's video. There's my problem is right now it's hard to do questionable areas to fish because we got so many people in town, and I'm not trying to track a bunch of attention. I don't want that. But there's a pretty good ditch on the side of the road that's supposed to have some pretty good largemouths in it. And I'm really into the largies at the moment. You know, I've never really been into bass fishing, but because normally I'm not a catch and release guy. I'm a catch and cut type, you know. But after that PB I just set on that random pond, I thought it'd be kind of hooked, kind of reeling on that, trying to hone in on it. If you missed it, yesterday I was trout fishing in the canal for plants, and I hooked a monster. But the problem is I was up 10 feet on the bridge, and he I didn't have enough reel. He was too big, and ended up getting off. I'd like to head back there and maybe a different part. You know, it's you catch a big fish somewhere and you kind of want to go back there, but I realized that I got old. Like I was just fishing the same 4 or 5 spots, and that's not what I want to do. You know, I want to switch it up, try new places, hop some fences, find a farm field, you know. And I can't say nobody's ever fished here before, but I mean, there's a high likely that nobody's fished here in the last 40 years, you know. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. We're just hanging out on this property that definitely belongs to us. Fishing this little creek behind me, looking for some brook trout, hopefully. Denver, Colorado. Are you an hour ahead of me then? A lot of water striders. A lot of bugs in the water. Luckily, it doesn't get real warm, so we don't have the mosquito problem. But is it getting that late? You know, these things go by. They say time flies when you're having fun, and for sure does. You know, like I feel like I just got out here. I think I'm gonna check some gear, and then I think we're gonna move up, and we're gonna be extra quiet and fish the storm drain. I've never fished the storm. I've fished this little part, but I've never fished the storm drain because it's right by somebody's house. But I think the house is abandoned. Like I've lived here like 5 years. I've never seen anybody there. But the grass gets cut mysteriously, so hard to say. I'm gonna see what gear I got and maybe go up and fish that storm drain. Always wanted to do it. It's like a culvert that runs from my pond out into this, and then out. It's actually called the Epsom Slough. Not to dox myself, but it would cost you hundreds of dollars to get here. And I'm not saying you don't have it. I'm just saying I don't think I'm worth that. You know, you're not gonna spend all that time and energy to come out here and stalk me. I guess you could order me 100 pizzas and have them delivered to my house. Just kidding, you can't. There's no Uber Eats. There's no pizza delivery out here. You might be able to have me swatted, but I think our SWAT team's like one guy, Sheriff Garcia. He's actually really cool, and I know him, so not too worried about doxing. I'm gonna check my gear. I'll be right back. Found a big old pile of bear scat. That's kind of cool. We got just little black bears out here. And then pick them up on my camera. Everybody got a camera, right? Well, I don't know, especially in the spring. And if I'm out deep, I'll carry bear spray. But ain't too much more reason to be scared of black bears. I guess in the spring they can get. I'm sure you got those out in Colorado too. And to be honest, the bear spray is more for tweakers, man. You know, drugs are a real problem out everywhere, even in especially in rural communities. We're gonna move. We're actually gonna have to kind of keep it a little quiet because I'm gonna try to fish the storm drain up next to this house. I think the house is abandoned, but I can't confirm that because somehow the grass keeps getting cut. It's gonna be a little bumpy, but if you guys want to hang out, we'll be fishing in just a minute. I'll flip you around. This is the spot. That's our trail through all this lovely tick-covered grass. Just kidding. It's for ticks. We'll leave those. Shit. Bike horn. Sorry, I was trying to hold you guys somewhat steady. It's just gonna be shaky, so shit happens. Well, how was the view from down there? Oh, we got two people. Don't look. Are you guys upside down? Why? Yeah, no, I had it right before. Hey. Sorry. Just bear with me. It's trying to do some hiking through some crap, hold the fishing pole and the camera, and push the e-bike all at one time. And that's really saying something for a guy who can't walk and chew gum, so. Oh boy, there's a log. Alright, gotta kind of keep it a little quieter. Coming up on the storm drain, there's an abandoned house about, I don't know, 25 yards in front of us. And it's not that one that I'm worried about, it's the people in the RV lot across from it. I think we're gonna set up. I don't know. Do I just say fuck it and go for it and just fish the storm drain right next to the road and act like I'm supposed to be there, or puffing? Sorry, the bike's heavy, and I think we're gonna go for it. I think we're just gonna sit by the side of the road. Problem is, this is my neighborhood and people know who I am. And you never know who's a snitch. But I guess worst case scenarios are like, hey, you can't fish here. And I'm like, Pickles Barbecue out of Colorado said I could do it. Just kidding. You take the fall. So we're coming up. There's a house and a shed just to the right in the bushes. But I think he's abandoned. Nobody's ever been there. I've never seen anybody there. But it's that trailer with the trucks that I know are there. Hit this roadblock. Set some gear down, try to drag my bike underneath it. Hey, thanks for being patient. If you're, nobody's just getting here. Thanks for hanging out, Pickles. Coming up on the storm drain, trying to get the camera mount remounted. Bear with me, we're almost there. God, I'm out of shape. Getting old, man. But, we're out by the road. I figure, fuck it, we'll just go for it. Like, what are they gonna do? Sorry, still playing with the mount here. I think that's it. Alright. Hear those loud ass birds? I like it though. Alright, we got to go, and I know I'm right in your face. Nothing says I should buy a nose hair trimmer like starting a YouTube channel, right? Makes me wish I would have started before the world of HD. Hey, if you're just getting here, we're looking for some trout. There's a storm drain just up ahead, and we're gonna see what's in there. I've always wanted to fish it, just never been brave enough because it's right next to the road, and allegedly this isn't my property. Just kidding, I have permission. I can't see why he wouldn't be the property owner. Bear with me in the crappy camera view. See, it's all mowed now, and that's what gave that, I don't know if anybody owns it, but it might have been the city come in and mow it. Hold on, we're almost there. I think this is the spot. I don't see any signs of life. Put my kicks down. Just ran through some stinging nettles, so my shins are on fire. Joys of stinging nettle. We might not have ticks out here in the Pacific Northwest, but we definitely have some stinging nettles. Let me see. I'll show you guys. That's what we got going on. It's the storm drain is right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Doesn't look like there's any water flowing through it at the moment. But I'm gonna see if I can find you guys a good home. Get you mounted and hopefully catch them. There's some guys over just behind me there. The ops, so to speak. Let's just hope they're not snitches. But we're here. I'm excited. That's the swamp. Can't really see it because the brush is too thick. But over there is a culvert, and that's where my lake. I don't know who lives in that house. I've never seen anybody there. So we're just gonna fish it until someone says we can't. You know? What's the worst that could happen? Are they gonna spank me and take away my birthday? Or are they just gonna tell me I can't fish here? Who? The one sheriff we have that lives like 30 miles away? Maybe, but I'm not too worried about it. Sorry, trying to get you guys tightened down to where I can leave you alone for a second, and then we can start fishing this pond. Getting warm though. It's probably about 65 degrees. Let's get it warm in there. That's bullshitting. I do see some little fishies turning over. I don't see any current. Water quality looks like absolute garbage, but we'll see. You got those purple flowers everywhere. Snapdragons. You know, if I ever come home late or wife is complaining that I don't spend any time with her, you just pick her a bouquet of those and you're back in the good graces. I know we have sea otters and river otters where I live. And I think a lot of times when I see them in the lake, I think it's because they live in that storm drain right there. And they really help control the fish population, not in a good way. My worm's looking a little soggy. I'm gonna rebait, throw it out there. It's always been a goal of mine to catch a bass on topwater frog, like a pocket frog. You know, you see all the cool YouTubers doing it, and you're like, well, damn, I'd like to give that a try. Don't get me wrong, got plenty of bass, just on, you know, poppers or something along those lines. But never a frog. And hoping to check that off my list this summer. But I'd really like to get on the beach and do some perch fishing. It's kind of my MO. I'm trying to learn how to hook my... Oh, I know how to do it. So to hook your GoPro to your phone, you can do that. But the problem with that is you have to give them permission. You have to give them permission to access your camera and your YouTube account and post on your YouTube account. And I'm like, why the hell would I want to give whoever owns GoPro someplace in China full permission to my Google and YouTube account? You know, that doesn't... What do you mean you can edit and make comments? Hey. Just waving at people on the side of the road, acting like I'm supposed to be here. But we might just do it, you know, not the end of the world. I know you can't see it, but there's a storm drain just right there. I'm hoping we can cast out kind of in front of it. Bro, if that was a basketball, that was a 3-point shot. I think I am in the storm drain. A little nerve-wracking. There's no water flowing through here, but my pond at home's pretty low. Just saw something come up, try to eat a little water strider, but it was, I mean, barely bigger than a minnow. There are little fishes in here, hoping to find a little bigger something. Kind of slow dragging the worm through the hole here. Well, I'd love to stay and play, but got family coming in and get back to the house, get some breakfast. Got skunked on this one, but still had a pretty good time. Been a while. Been a while since I was hopping fences and fishing farmers' ponds, you know. So felt good to get out. Beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest. Hey Pickles, man, thanks for rocking with me. Appreciate you. I'll be live tomorrow. I think I don't know where. You know, the canal for trout or bass on the side of the road. One of those. I'm also going to drop a video probably tomorrow about just the highlights, all the fish I've caught this past week, and you too, Pick. Have a happy 4th. Just the highlights reel of all the fish I've caught over the last few days. It's been a few. I think we got like, well, I don't want to exaggerate, but I'd say at least 10 in the last week, which is 2 new PBs broke. But hopefully I see you tomorrow. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, go outside. It's good for your soul.